Hey YouTube. I am here to make another video. Now this video was supposed to be another religious studies video, okay? Completely different. It wasn't gonna be on Buddhism. But I want to talk about these sister locks that I have. This is like my third year of having these sister locks. And I like them. They've grown a lot. They've grown a lot. Here, let me show you. I'll show you a picture of where they were this past summer. I took this picture. When did I take this picture? Maybe like in June or July of last year to get my passport, okay? So look how much they have grown. And it's like sometimes you don't really, realize and recognize, how much they've grown until you look back on pictures. And like when I started my sister locks, I thought I had a whole lot of hair, but I didn't. I'll try to put the one of my pictures from when I first started them at the end of this video. Because I don't quite, I guess I could edit the picture in. I'm not quite sure how, but nevertheless, I want to put it up there. And so when I got them done, I didn't realize how short my hair was, So when I left, I think it took her 16 hours total to install my sister locks. And I mean, they were like this, I was saying, what did I call them? I called them little pickaninnies or something at the head. I said, I'm going right out here looking like Miss Pickaninnies out by the head or something like that, I said, okay? But anyway, I started those locks, and like I said, they were so tiny. I didn't wear wigs. I didn't wear hats. I didn't wear any of that stuff. I just, hey, just let it be like it was, And I didn't start coloring mine until a year because I knew with sister locks I was going to be very careful because of the slippage and everything. I wasn't 100% sure they were completely locked, but it had been a year. And the reason I say that is because my daughter had sister locks. My daughter had sister locks from the age of 5 until she was 10, okay? My daughter has very thick hair, very, very pretty thick hair. Her sister locks were just so gorgeous on her, okay? And why until she was 10? Because one day she just looked at me and she said, Mommy, I don't want this no more. And I think she had been fighting it a little bit, but for a while I was like, no, we're not taking those out. You're going to keep them. That was my attitude. That was my spirit. And I had traditional locks at the time. So I cut my locks off. And I think when I cut mine off, my mom called me and she said, she is crying because you cut your locks off because we both had locks. So my mom went and got some sister locks, okay? And her locks were very, very pretty. She had that gray hair. Oh, they were so gorgeous. But, after my daughter decided she didn't want hers anymore, my mom just cut them off. She was like, I just got them because she, just to make her feel, included or whatever. So, and I sat there and I picked out every single one of my daughter's locks. Yes, I did. I started she told me, I think it might have been like in June. It was the summer, maybe, or it might have been closer to school. So it might have been July or August, something like that. And I think I finished them. I can't remember, honey. It was months later because I just wasn't going to sit there and do them, just straight. I wasn't. I got some conditioner. I would coat the locks in conditioner, and I got a straight pin or a safety pin, and I picked them out. The thing about it was she had them for 5 years. When I picked those locks out, her hair wasn't locked. I mean, it just came loose like nothing, So it was only like maybe a small portion of the long lock that was actually locked. So that's what I'm saying. I don't know if my locks were actually, if my sister locks were actually locked when I, dyed them, okay? I colored them. I did a rinse first. And then I did a box only once, okay? And then I just kept doing a rinse. They were red, okay? Y'all saw me doing it in one video, red. And I would pick certain reds here and there. And then I just got to the point the last few times I did it, I was just mixing all kinds of reds. At one point, I was going to let the gray grow in. But I just, like I said in the video, it's just, I just like the color, None against gray. I just like the color. Well, I recently was like, well, let me kind of tone down the red a little bit. Okay, I'm sure you all can see it's not as bright. Okay, it still has some red in it. And I went to the lady who does my sister locks. I went to her sister because her sister owns the shop. And she dyed it for me, not color with a rinse. She dyed it. And she couldn't cover up all the red. She was going to need like more dye, and I was ready to go. I was like, it's good enough like it. You know what I'm saying? It's good enough like it is, because I kept having to sit under the dryer. I was like, no, this is fine. But I gotta be honest with you. When I first saw the color, I don't know if you can really see it that good. When I first saw the color, I liked it, and she really liked it because it was brown, kind of light brown up here, and then the faded into the red. I guess I haven't really looked at it from the back, and I don't know if you can really see it here in this video, but I felt like it looked like a that kind of ombre look, a little bit, but I don't like it. When I first saw it, I liked it. We both liked it. And she was like, it looks like it would be your natural color. When I was, my grandfather used to call me Sandy when I was, little, because my hair was sandy. I was kind of blondish. And, so when I had my traditional locks, I did have them dyed. They were bleached. I don't know. They weren't platinum, just whatever the lady was doing, my loctician at the time. And people thought it was my natural color because it kind of went with my skin tone. So this is just dye. It's not bleach or anything. But I don't like it. I feel like it is so incredibly boring. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's ugly or anything like that. I just think it's boring. It just has no pop. It's just like, it just looked like nothing to me, and that bothers me. And then I got my side shaved here. And sometimes because the color is so natural to my skin, it just kind of looks just bald, but nothing, I like that mohawk look because, you have that, and then that stark contrast is what I'm trying to say. I don't have that with this, with this color. So I don't like it. Okay. And that's all this video is about. I don't like it. And I'm debating about putting the red back in. But it would just the rinse, not a dye. Because I don't want to keep dyeing my locks, And I don't, dyeing your hair, it changes your hair texture too. To me it does, But there are locks, but still they just feel. I just did it. Yeah, I think I just did it this past, not this past Saturday, but Friday. Not last Friday, Good Friday. The Saturday after Good Friday, because I got my retie on Friday, and then I went back that Saturday. And I just don't like it. I was thinking, let me tone it down a little bit, thinking, I don't know, just trying something different for various reasons, thinking, well, I'm older, maybe I should. And I know people, people don't like to hear that because they feel like you're saying you're old. I'm not saying I'm old. I'm just saying, I'm older, middle-aged. Maybe I should tone down. Let me try it, And then, like I was saying in some of my videos, the office I work in a little bit more professional. So I was like, let me tone it down, because that red that I was doing, like I said, I would mix a whole bunch of different reds together. Last couple times I did it, and it would just be like, wow, you know what I'm saying? Especially out in the sun, But I like that. I like, wow. I like, just pow, style, color, and all of that kind of stuff, So I don't like it. Period, point blank. I don't like it. And then sometimes it can take, when you first do something different, it can take a while to get used to, too. You may not like it at first, but it's like if you hold on to it for a second, you look one day and be like, wow, this is really nice, and, maybe it might need time to settle in and all of that kind of thing. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I don't like it. I still oil my scalp. I didn't for a while, but I'm going to tell you the reason I do. I grew up, I grew up, it was just natural for mothers, they oil their, black girl scalp. And, then they started saying grease was bad for your hair, blah, 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 this, that, and the other. So I stopped for years. But one time when I first moved back to Cleveland, which was my daughter's about 17 years ago, I met this lady, 17, 18 years ago. I met this lady in one of the local stores here. Listen, this woman had the best locks I had ever seen. And I've seen a lot of locks because I lived in D.C. and lived in Atlanta and places where locks were really popular, a long, long time ago. Her locks were some of the best I had ever seen. I was like, my God, what did you do to your locks? Why they look so good? And she was like, I don't know. She was just palm rolling it herself. And she said, well, I still oil my scalp. She said, maybe that's it, you know. And I said, I asked her, do you get a lot of compliments on your locks? She was like, yeah, I do, you know. But I still wasn't oiling my scalp. Most of the time, like I said in my other video, most of the time I wear a bald fade, you know, or a Caesar cut, whatever you want to call it, you know. That's what I wear most of the time, you know. So the majority, you know, of my adult life, I've gone back and forth with different styles, but most of the time I end up cutting it all off because, you know, I like it. So I really wouldn't put anything in it, you know, because it was so damn short, you know. I didn't put any kind of oil in it, you know. The only time I would really put products in it, you know, besides washing it, was when I was trying to grow it out, you know. And initially, these started from you know, I had a bald fade. Once again, it was platinum, you know. It was that really kind of, it wasn't white, but that almost white, yellow, blonde, whatever. I think that's what it's called. But anyway, it was bleached to high heaven. I was doing it myself. One of a beautician, she taught me how to do it. And I never had no problems, but it was just like, it's shaved, you know. The majority of, you don't have no hair up there hardly. So I really didn't worry about it, you know, as far as breakage is concerned. But I didn't have any of that, you know. I just did it exactly like she told me to do it. But anyway, I might have been putting some kind of oil or moisturizer in it then. I'm not sure. But anyway, as far as, and when I got these, no, I was not oiling my scalp. What I was doing was, and I still have it, I have a mixture of various oils that I put together. And I, you know, have it in a spray bottle with water, and I just, you know, shake it up and spray it. I used to do it every single day, but I don't anymore. But I more recently... Well, I started oiling my scalp again like last year, okay? And I can't tell you what I was thinking about that made me feel like, okay, go ahead and, you know, you should, you know, start oiling your scalp. I can't remember, you know, I don't know. I don't remember what my thought was. But I stopped for a while, you know, just because I had got out of the habit of it. It just, you know, wasn't something I thought about. But then I started doing it again. And because the scalp is skin, you know, this is my thing, and the scalp is skin, and the skin needs moisture. I know people say, well, grease don't moisturize your scalp. Listen, my only thing, I saw a video recently, the other day, because I was, you know, looking up on the internet about oil in the scalp, and there was a sister, huge fro. Okay, that was my goal, you know. When I was my last bald fade, my goal was to boom, because I love that, you know. But I just, it wasn't something I don't want to say I didn't have the patience, okay, because I was really working on it. But, you know, you got to really pay attention to your hair. My hair was doing fine with Cantu hair products, and not the sulfate free. I'm sorry, just for me, when I would use the sulfate shampoo versus the shampoos that didn't have it, my hair did better with the sulfate shit in it. Okay, period. I'm just saying, you know, I'm not telling nobody what to do or not to do. Mine did better with that. Okay. Just basic, you know, products. My hair was really flourishing, and I would put castor oil in it, not Jamaican black castor oil, because I've tried that over the years. It's just like my hair does not respond to it in a positive way, in no way, nothing. But when I would just put regular castor oil in it, it really, you know, respond to that. It would thicken up. It would just, because my hair is fine. I have really not super thin, like some people's hair super thin, but mine is more on the kind of finer thin spectrum. I don't know if it's 4A, 4D. I don't freaking know. Okay, I just know that's what it is. And I know I did the test to see if it was, you know, high porosity or low porosity or whatever. All I know was I pulled I forget what it's called, maybe we low porosity, because I pulled, you know, a hair, put it in some water, and it just kind of floated to the top, you know. And I would notice my hair would I'd have to drench it, like super duper drench it in water for it to get super wet, you know. But anyway, so but anyway, she was talking about, she uses hair grease, you know, and she broke it down that it doesn't clog up your, you know, the pores in your scalp. I think she said because it's a kind of, she said, sure, it does use, the base is petroleum jelly, but I think it was a different kind, like the kind that would comedogenic or think something like that. She said I didn't do no major research on it. I just listened to her video, and the way I thought about it was like, well, it kind of like, I looked at it as like melting, it melts into it, not covers it up, not blocks it. And the reason I'm saying this is because, when I was growing up, I was born in 1972, this is what Black women used on their daughters' hair. Grease. I'm not on their scalp, And then, like my mom, she would oil my scalp, not my hair, but my scalp. And, when she got done, she would just rub some in her hands and kind of put it, on my hair. Okay. And even when I was a little girl, she did, a friend of mine, I was in the fifth grade. This girl had some gorgeous, thick hair. And my mom asked her mother what she was using in her hair, and she told her, and she said she would use castor oil. So my mom started adding castor oil to the hair grease. And she said when she did that, my hair just started just like growing like crazy and just flourished, So one of the oils that I do add to my spray bottle is castor oil. I like castor oil. I'll use jojoba oil. I can't remember all of the oils. I got them in my, I think I've even used a little avocado oil. I looked it up, what was good to stimulate hair growth, the oils that were good to stimulate hair growth. And I got as many of those as I could. I also added, just a little tea tree, just a little bit. Okay. A little peppermint. Because I believe from what I read, a little essential oil, because I believe what I read was that was good, to stimulate hair growth. I think I even added a little lemongrass essential oil, because I believe I read that about that too. I'm kind of running low on my oils. Okay. So I got to, purchase some more oils. Okay. Vitamin E oil. Okay. And I have a few more that I put in that spray bottle, but I don't grease my hair. My scalp, I don't grease it. Like when I was growing up, we would do it. When I started taking care of my hair, I would do it every other night, every other day, because that's what we were taught to do. But I know when we were little girls, back in that time period, 70s and 80s, little girls had beautiful heads of hair, and women were oiling their scalp, and these same products are available, Blue Magic. I guess Crown, is it Royal Crown? Yeah, I'm about to call it Crown Royal. Royal Crown. I think, it came in, it was about a jar about this size, about, this wide, and it was red. And Royal Crown, I believe that's the name of it. That's one my mom would use a lot. We didn't really use Blue Magic too much. Oh, and Ultra Sheen. Y'all remember Ultra Sheen, the green? that's when my mom, we would have the blue color one and the green color. My mom used that a lot, but also she said when she added that castor oil to it, my hair just like it thickened up. It never got as thick as my friends, because that just was not my texture of hair, but it did help with the hair growth, and it thickened it up a little bit. But anyway, so that's not what I use now. I use, I have two mixed together. Okay. They're the same brand. One is coconut, and the other one has the herbs and herb flakes in it. And I can't remember the name of it, because I combined them and put them in one of my jars. Here, I'll show you. Okay. This is my bottle, my spray bottle with the oils that I found online. Like I'm saying, like the castor oil, the, jojoba oil, blah, blah, blah. And I got my water in there. And when I do, I just shake it up and I just spray it on there real quick. I try to get, everywhere. But this is the hair grease. Okay. Like I said, I combined same brand. I can't think of the name of the brand, but I see it in my head. It was not a brand, like I said, it wasn't a brand that we used growing up, but it's been around like forever. Like I said, my mom, the main brand that we had in my house growing up was Ultra Sheen. That was the main brand that we had. Every now and then I would see the Crown, Royal Crown brand. All right. I don't ever remember seeing Blue Magic. Okay. Not that nothing was wrong with it. I think my mom just, just bought Ultra Sheen just because, But anyway, so y'all see, if you can see up close, you see the little, the herbal grow flakes in it, And I started using it because I wasn't really, when I wasn't oiling my scalp, I wasn't oiling my daughter's because I was following that line of reasoning. But I started oiling her scalp, and her hair has done really well, because something happened to it. I don't know what the hell happened to my daughter's hair. Okay. Okay. She wasn't in my care for a minute because I had a fire in my house. She was staying with my mom, and my daughter's hair came. I was like, what the hell did she do to your hair? It was like, it was have gone, so it's taken a while to really grow back, but it's finally back to where it was. Okay. But anyway, so I'm just saying, so if I find the link to that video, I will post it in the description below. Y'all know how I am about finding links to videos. I always talk about if I find a link, I'll post it, and you never see a link. Okay. Well, because half the time I can't find it, because a lot of this stuff that I talk about, it was like from years ago that I saw this stuff. But this one, I just saw like last week, so hopefully I can find it, and I'll put the link in. She breaks it down, why, hair grease is a good for you, for your scalp, and my thinking was, well, scalp is skin, it needs to be moisturized. I've never, me personally, everybody's different. I've never had a problem with greasing my scalp. And I said my scalp, I didn't say putting a glob of grease in my hair. I'm talking about my scalp. This is skin, I'm saying. I've never had a problem with it. And like I said, when I was growing up, little girls had, people weren't putting, weaves and fake hair in little girls' hair, that no matter how bald they were for however long, from as a little girl, eventually, you just keep caring for their scalp and massaging their scalp and taking care of their hair, it will grow. Like my daughter, the back of her hair, I mean, it took forever. I mean, she was little girl, little toddler, not so much little girl, but a toddler. And right in the back, right at the bottom, she had all this hair right here. It was like almost no hair. And then it started back, right under there, and I was just like so frustrated because I was really taking care of her hair. This when she was a toddler, and my mom was like, it just takes time, like just her skin, when she was born, they come into a different, they're not in the sack anymore, and all the things that's, whatever the stuff is on their skin, that they're coated with when, they're born in the womb. So for a long time, my daughter's skin, it was just like some parts were just dry, like no matter what I put on it. And I would be so red. I was so frustrated. She was a baby, she wasn't even toddler, she was a baby. And my mom was like, it's going to be okay. You know what I'm saying? That's, her body is yet transitioning. It's not just she's out of the womb and just all of a sudden, then my daughter's skin was fine. It took some time, but her, just keep moisturizing her, taking care of her the way you should, nourishing her the way you should. Like, we talk about hair growth, we talk about eating the right foods and all of that kind of thing. And it will be fine. And her skin was fine. She did go through about when she got older of eczema, and we put shea butter. I make a shea butter with, raw shea butter with, I add oils to it, and it, it would clear it right up. Now her hands just get really dry. She keeps her hands moisturized, and so she doesn't really have the eczema on her skin anymore, but so me personally, I've never had a problem with hair grease. And like I'm saying, I look back when that's all we used was hair grease, on our scalp. And little girl, like I said, nobody was putting weaves and fake hair in 3-year-old's head and 5-year-old's head. These, you know what I'm saying? And I never can recall for myself, in elementary school, any of my Black friends having issues with their hair. Everybody had a healthy head full of hair, but once again, because this was, these were things we talked about, our care. This is what, children and people talk about, our hair care. What your mom using your hair, what I'm saying? So everybody was using grease back then, and again, I didn't say put a glob of grease on your hair. That's different than on your scalp. And I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying what I do and what I've been doing for me. And I know some people may say, well, you have locks, you don't need to do that. I still feel my scalp, which my locks are growing out of, it's still hair growing out of my scalp, it still needs to be nourished and massaged, and everything just like the rest of my body. Again, it's skin, because that's one thing that we would do. We would oil the scalp. you know, what was ever left of my mom's hair. She would rub it all over my hair, and then she would massage my scalp, you know, to help that stimulate that growth. And that's what I do, you know, to myself now, and to my daughter's, you know, hair, and her scalp. You know, my daughter keeps her hair in braids, you know, so you know, like extensions, okay? And my daughter's 16, you know. But anyway, I don't back to the hair color thing, you know. So that's just my hair care. And, you know, I was looking at this book. I was going to go over it, but I don't know. Maybe I'll read some of it. You know, I don't know if anybody's seen this book before, Blacked Out Through Whitewash, but it's by Suzar. I bought this book before my daughter was born. My daughter's 16. And this was like volume 1 of 7. I had not seen the other volumes. I've seen her booklets. Okay. And there are a whole lot more than 7 booklets. I think she was Suzar, the woman who wrote this, was supposed to be working on another one. And every blue moon, I look for it. But she just talks about, you know, nappy hair. She's got a whole section. You know, she doesn't mind calling it nappy. You know, she says here, nappy hair is the hair of the gods. Spiraling hair, expressing the spiral principle of creation. The spiral, S-P-I-R, is the movement of creation. See, you know, the spiral, okay? We see that, you know, when they do movies or whatever about space, you know, we see that the spiral of the stars, the spiral, especially the golden spiral, is the most profound motion in the universe. At the same time, it is the most profound design in the universe, built into all life forms, from seashells, you see them in a spiral, to man, to spiraling nappy hair. Blood spirals through the, you know, spirals through the veins. That's how it goes through the veins. It not just shoot straight up or shoot straight down. You know, it spirals. Plants spiral up from the soil. You know, have you ever seen like videos where they show how they maybe recorded a plant, you know, the growth of a plant, you know, every day from when it's you know, the seed is planted, and it doesn't really go straight up. If you watch, it kind of leans, you know, it shoots up like that because it's going in that spiral. You know what I'm saying? Nappy hair spirals out from the hair roots. Witness the unique spiral or whirl on your fingertips, you know, our fingerprints. They, you know, start out, you know, here, like right in the middle in that spiral, and then goes from there, you know. So she's basically saying things are born in a spiral, life itself. Ball your hand into a fist and slowly extend each finger, and you will see for yourself how the tip of each finger opens in a golden spiral path. Observe the spiraling of ocean waves and wind, of animal horns, of spirulina, you know, which is a superfood algae that resembles nappy hair. Here, I'm going to show you here. This is, if for those of you who take spirulina, I take spirulina like every day. If you look, see, that's spirulina, okay? Pull out, if your hair is in its natural state, pull out a, you know, and it's a spiral. It is not really straight, you know, or what we call kinky or nappy. I know, you know, people take offense to those terms, but kinky or nappy, you know, or a tight coil. Isn't that a tight coil? You're going to see the same thing. Pull out, you know, one of your strands of your hair, and that's what it is, a tight coil. And this is spirulina right here. Let me see, the spiral in your ears, okay? It's so funny. My mom was a registered nurse, and she used to, well, I talk about her mom number 1. And I'm saying mom right now. I'm going to do a video, because I don't know if I should call her mom number 1 or mom number 2. I want y'all to give me some thoughts about that. But anyway, she's the one who raised me. So whenever I talk about my mom, you know, I'm talking about the one who raised me, okay? Not the one who birthed me, okay? But anyway, she was a registered nurse, and she's every now and then she used to tell, she worked in the ER, and my mom worked in the OR. She worked with surgeons and everything, okay, at Cleveland Clinic, all right? And Cleveland Clinic is like, it used to be, I don't know if it still is, but of course it's internationally known. It's like it was the number 2 hospital, you know, in the nation. I think second to Johns Hopkins. This was years ago. I'm not sure what its ranking is now, but I'm pretty sure it's still high. You know, it's a research hospital, but my mom worked at Cleveland Clinic when it was just one building. Okay, and it's just like this massive phenomenon now, you know, and even in other parts of the world. So she knew a lot of people there. She knew a lot of the surgeons. They knew her on a first name basis, many of them. But anyway, but she was telling me that I asked her, because she's telling some of the stories about, you know, working in the OR and ER, and she said, well, I said, did you ever get sick or faint, you know, from, you know, looking at the inside of her body? She said the only time that she ever fainted was when they were operating on the ear. I was like, the ear, you know, and she was like, yeah, she said it was just something about it, you know. I think she was kind of tired, and then she said something about it. It just kind of made her sick or something, and she fainted. But anyway, but the spiral in your ears and flowers and throughout nature. Straight-haired people also have a spiral on their heads, okay, visible as a whorl pattern with its center in the back of the head, or I think, you know, maybe back up here, you will see that, you know, spiral, and how it's straight, but it still grows from here, you know, and flows down into a spiral like your fingertips, okay. Woolly-haired people have both the whorl pattern and the individually spiraling strands of heliaxial coiled spring-like nappy hair. She says the choice of the gods, okay. It is no wonder that spiraling hair was regarded as a sign of spirituality. So she's spiraling, as she's capitalizing here. I'll show you. Let me see where it is. Spiraling hair, see the S-P-I-R, and then she goes into a sign of spirituality here, S-P-I-R, okay, and divinity and prize as the hair of the gods. Then she goes to talk about, did Jesus have dreadlocks? Medusa's hair of snakes, which is actually her in this book, because I'm going to do, in part of my religious study series, I'm going to do some more out of this book, but Medusa is really Metusa, okay, which was an African serpent goddess representing female wisdom, called the mother of all gods, whom she bore before childbirth existed, but her name is not Medusa, it's Metusa. All right, but we'll get into that somewhere in the book, because I don't see it in this paragraph, because that's not what her focus is right here. But nevertheless, so you know the snakes, she's saying Metusa's hair of snakes were really dreadlocks. God suspended him by locks between earth and heaven. Who? She's talking about the dreadlock prophet Ezekiel, okay, reported that God manifested in golden brightness before him and his associates. And here's the scripture, Ezekiel 8:3, and he put forth the form of an hand and took me by a lock of mine head. This is what Ezekiel is saying. And the spirit lifted me up between the earth and the heaven. Biblically, blacks were sheep, white people were goat. Okay, that's something else. Okay. She's still talking about hair, but I don't want to get into that part right now. I just want to stay focused on the actual hair here. Etymology of nappy and kinky. The word nappy is likely derived from the Egyptian words nepi, N-E-P-I, or nabet, or nabti, N-A-B-T, both meaning lock of hair. The word kinky is derived from Ankh, the name of the most revered symbol of Africa's Nile Valley. Ankh means life, and tie, join, connect, which is interesting because what did we say religion was? To rejoin, reconnect, okay, to tie to again, okay. So Ankh means life, and tie, join, connect. From this African word comes most of the words which mean to join or connect. Derivatives, which usually contain ng/nk or gn/kn, include anchor, ankle, neck, knee, tangle, jungle, messenger, angel. They are all messengers that connect you with divine messages and juncture. Okay, hair is really an antenna which can receive and transmit energy. I remember the first time I heard that, and I was like, I don't know if I believe that. This is, you know, I don't get it. I didn't understand it, you know. This was, when did I first hear that? I was in school somewhere, so I don't remember if I was in undergrad, which I don't think so. I think I was in graduate school, because when I heard it, I was like, you know, and I always wear my hair so short, and I was like, cutting off my antenna? You know what I'm saying? But here she says, Hair is a receiver and transmitter of divine emanation. It makes you receptive to spiritual forces. Saints and sages instinctively let their hair grow. Rastafarians regard. So, even like when we talk about Siddhartha Gautama, and how he cut his hair, his hair is such a significant thing, especially when it comes to one's spirituality, okay, or the spiritual world, the spiritual realm, that aspect or thing. And I'm not saying that the hair has to be long. You know what I'm saying? Like I would always cut my hair short, and I grew up in church, and people would kind of want to throw the scripture about what's that verse? Something about a woman's hair is her crown and glory. And I say, yeah, but it doesn't say that it has to be long. You understand what I'm saying? So you are just taking your Western European thought of long hair as equating to beauty, and as and equating that beauty to crown and glory, to meaning that it has to be long. That's not what it says. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, Rastafarians regard dreadlocks as a quality of Black people. They regard dreadlocks as high tension wires, which transmits divine energy and inspiration from God, the Creator, to Rasta, the mirror. Within our body, which is the temple of God, our head, the holy of holies, honey, come on, is the highest point, while our hair, its natural crown, is like the spire, S-P-I-R, once again, of a church. Our vertical connection with God, representing our strength. It forms an antenna through which the spiritual force may descend. Spiritual force rather than descend. Okay, will spiral through spiraling hair. See, the spiritual force will spiral through your spiraling hair. Okay, since nature and connecting you, okay, to the greater, like she said, to God. Okay, the Most High, the most magnificent one, and I'm even hearing the most significant one, God, the Creator. Okay, that is all that that, like I said, that is all. Since nature does nothing without a reason, what is the purpose and effect of spiral hair? Since nature does nothing without reason, what is the purpose and effect of spiral hair? Understand, nature does nothing without reason. It's not just happen chance. Since nature itself is a textbook that reveals the secrets of the universe by literally expressing these principles in the actual form that something takes, my guess is that spiral hair enhances the ability to tune in. She said her guess, now come on now, is that the spiral hair enhances is the ability to tune in at the most detailed level or dimensions, the micro within the macro. Okay, both nappy and straight-haired people have the whirl or big spiral, and surely this allows tuning in at the big level, while the little spirals of individual strands additionally allow the antenna to pick up detail at the most minute level. I read that kind of fast. I ain't gonna break it down. Okay, does hair antenna possess accelerator properties? I'm not gonna go into. Let me see. Okay, I'm trying to see the time here, y'all. Okay, how much time I've been on here, but I'm not just gonna go all into it. Okay, but look at this sister with her locks, spiral, and she in saying that she does focus a lot on locks, but I don't believe, obviously, as we read it, she's not just saying it's just locks. She's just talking about the spiraling hair, what we call, we don't like to call it, but she is calling it here unapologetically kinky, nappy. Okay, now that tight coil, that tight curl, if that sets well with you, okay, if that's better for you. Okay, a spiral hair. Oh, this lady here is Tassili Ma'at. Okay, in this picture. All right, I can't. Her name is so familiar to me. I can't remember, but anyway. Here she does say melanin, which is a super absorber of all forms of energy, undoubtedly plays a huge role in this. Sensing this at some level, oh gosh, she says, sensing this as, I don't want to get into this, but sensing this at some level, is this why whites call other whites who are blonde airheads? And the reason I don't want to get into this, because I really want to focus more on, what she's talking about here with our hair, not anyone else. And it's not a put down of anyone else, because even remember, she said, even, those who are straight haired, okay, their hair still has a whirl. It starts out as a whirl and then it falls straight. Okay. Spiral hair equals concentrated antennas. The nappier the hair, the more spiral power it has, Or maybe the reverse is true. In other words, maybe the more spiral hair power it has, the nappier the hair. The more concentrated, powerful, and advanced will be its abilities relating to the spiral principle. This is evident even physically, for nappy hair being a spring will snap back to the head when pulled out and released. Will it not? It's a coil. That's what it's going to do. The more the spring is coiled, the more power it has and the less space it takes up. Concentration. Okay? The more the spring is coiled, the more power it has and the less space it takes up. Concentration. Okay, so where we may feel ashamed because the hair is in such a tight coil, it doesn't appear to have length. Pull it out. Okay, like the sisters who do the videos and they talk about the shrinkage. The shrinkage is real. I mean, I've seen some videos where the shrinkage be like this, and they'll have one side it's like this long and the other side be that's long or a little bit long. I'm like, dang, some people's shrinkage is more intense, okay, or tighter than others, but that shrinkage is real. But what she says here, the more the spring is coiled, the more power it has and the less space it takes up. Concentration, okay? Right after nappy hair is vigorously brushed, the nappy hair now this is true, right after nappy hair is vigorously brushed, the nappy hair which has accumulated in the brush holds far more electrical static charge than straight hair, okay? Thus, like a magnet, it will attract like items. Paper, for instance, where straight hair hardly or does not do this, okay? Like we used to sometimes when we was kids, we would brush our hair, just brush it, plain it, brush it, and then, it would just, we put something over it and the hair would just try to, would move toward it, okay? That's what she's talking about here, all right? Possibly this means that spiral hair has higher magnetic attraction for higher energies. This is what she's talking about, this antenna. It may also have the ability to concentrate or focus these higher energies like a magnifying lens concentrates sun rays. Whatever abilities it has are surely increased or intensified the nappier the hair is. Thus, the nappiest hair, the hair which African people are conditioned to reject and despise the most, turns out to be the most valuable, like the stone which the builders rejected, which turns out to be the most important stone. And then she goes into, does hair antenna possess crystal properties? And then look what she called it. I don't know if you can see. Acquire anti-nappy syndrome. Okay. Fuels the worldwide war on nappy hair. Now, this book was, let me see. I'm going to look at the copyright here. Copyright is 1999. So this was quite a while ago. But see, we still see issues, in the Black community, with Black women with their hair. Now, we've gone through phases in the Black community, natural hair. I think it was like, the 60s, 70s, where a lot of women were in their hair natural, okay, with the afros and whatnot. But I was really kind of, this new act that's come through. For me, looking at it, it's like, I'm having a hard time celebrating that, only in this regard. My point in saying that is like, it's kind of like, it speaks to the mind of human beings, as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's 2022, and you mean tell me that we have to have some kind of law, to say you can't discriminate against a group of women who want to wear their hair the way it naturally comes out of their head. But yet we're so advanced, right? We're so advanced. However you want to look at it. That you have to enact a law in 2022. But we're so advanced now. We done come far. Okay? We don't have this in our country anymore. We don't have these particular problems. But you got to enact a law to allow a human being to be their natural selves, without any kind of discrimination. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. And then, I think that we have become so far removed now with, many of us with our natural state of being. Now, I went through a spell when they were telling me grease bad for you and all that kind of stuff, get the moisturizing, that cream. Listen, honey, That cream didn't do shit for my hair. That pink lotion or whatever, that shit fucked my hair up. Okay, and that's what I was saying too when I was trying to grow from a fade to a big fro before I got the Sisterlocks. Like I said, the Cantu products, shit like that, that worked. My hair did work wonders with that. Okay, and then I would go try to buy some fancy shit. Or you buy this and this stuff costs all this and they ain't got this and they ain't got that in it. And sometime I would use it, and in one wash, my hair, the whole texture had changed, and it would take me weeks. Okay, and I mean weeks, and I mean more than a month worth of weeks to get it back to the state that, because whatever was in those products or whatever wasn't in it, it was very damaging to my hair, very damaging. And when I say within one wash, I'm not exaggerating. Okay. But here and there, I kept trying. Finally, I was like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Use what works. I mean, like I said, when I used the shampoo with the sulfate shit in it, which people did a long time, had been using for God knows how long, until some kind of marketing scheme came through to say, this is bad for your hair, but we gonna have both kinds with sulfate without, so you can, believe with, now we give you something else to believe so we can get double the money. You understand what I'm saying? And if that brand don't work, then try that brand over there. Okay, whatever. I'm gonna tell you the best shampoo that I ever it had, just my hair just loved it. Cream of Nature. And I can't remember, because Cream of Nature got a few different kinds. I can't remember which one it was, but baby, when I used that Cream of Nature, my hair was like, baby, this is heaven. My hair just was, and Cantu was the second. Now, my aunt did my hair growing up. I don't know what she used, but she was a professional, so she used some kind of professional products, but I don't know what brand or anything like that. And she did my hair beautifully. Okay. So here she just goes into this. She talks about acquired anti-nappy syndrome. Okay. And I'm sorry, it is not normal for anybody, a group of women to this thing ain't got no edges, because I've damaged my hair so much by putting things in it, wigs or weaves or extra tight cornrows and braids. Sure, that's like a part of our heritage, but damn, like I said, when I was growing up, I used to get my hair cornrowed every summer. Okay, and I didn't go to no African shop. I went to my babysitter's cousin. You understand what I'm saying? Who didn't know how to cornrow. Everybody kind of, adult women, black women, they knew how to cornrow. You can go to anybody. A lot of us was running around, especially in the summertime, that would save them from having to do our hair every single day, with cornrows, when they got messy with the beads. When that got messy and whatnot, took that down and got some more, or like if you were going to camp so that you could go swimming or anything without any, issues. You can't do your hair yourself. We're going to cornrow your hair. And like I said, person up the street could do cornrow hair. Teenager next door could cornrow hair. Anybody could do it, and it looked really good, but it wasn't, and that was a style that many black women were wearing during that time period. Okay, women, but it wasn't a thing where our edges was being ate out. Listen, I went and got my hair braided one time. I told me a couple times. One time I was in Atlanta. It was a beautiful style that I saw. Okay, and honey, that woman cornrowed my hair so fucking tight. Usually it'll be kind of tight, and it would loosen up maybe like within 2 days, maybe sometime 3. This shit never loosened up. I took that shit down. I didn't give a fuck how much I paid her. You trying to cornrow my brains into these braids. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. One time here in Cleveland, I got my hair braided, and my daughter, she was just an infant. I went to someone's home to watch a video, a cousin of mine, and I was just kind of playing with the braid. Next thing I know, that thing popped out right, like the root from the root of my scalp. Fuck you. Your hair, that's damage. That's just lightweight abuse to do that to someone's head. Your hair does not have to be braided that tight, okay? Or you're putting some kind of style in your head or whatever where, edges. Now mine, they shaved on purpose, okay? Not just my edge. This is a mohawk, my mohawk style, all right? But not, for me putting any kind of weave or something like that in my hair. Well, I doing it so much, and not really taking care of the hair and the scalp as well. You know, we put lotion on our bodies, on our skin. You know, we still have to moisturize that skin, you know, that the hair is growing out of, okay? However you choose it, whatever you want to do, you know what I'm saying? But where the edges are being ate up so that they can sell you another product, okay, to grow your edges back in. Okay, it's like we're losing like common sense. Okay, it's like, you know, sometimes I hear videos and people talk about their natural hair and just how extremely hard it is to take care of. I am not saying that you may not have being challenged, you know, but what's the challenge? Okay, and I'm just giving us some things to think about. Is a challenge that you want some styles that maybe don't fit your particular hair texture, or that you just don't know how to achieve, okay? Because sometimes we watch these YouTube videos with these women who got particular styles of hair, and I'm not saying whatever the style of hair is, okay, or in different textures of hair that may be different than ours, and we do what they say do, and it don't come out right. I used to do that. And my hair will come out like a fluffy mess because it's just like that person probably has a different texture of hair, or whatever that product they use that you use, your hair, it does not adapt to your hair well. You know what I'm saying? You know, I think that, you know, things that are a part of us naturally should not be treated as some kind of foreign object. This thing grows out of us, you know, and I feel like, are we that so far removed from who we are as people, you know? You know what I'm saying? I hear somebody saying, yeah, you know what I mean? You know, like, yeah, that we are, okay? That this is your natural hair. This is your natural state of being. This is what grows out of your head. Just like, you know, your breast size, those are yours. Whatever, your arms, you know what I'm saying? Your eyes, you know, this is not a foreign thing that's separate to you. You understand what I'm saying? So it, you know, then you find, if you find it's too difficult, then you find things. And if you don't wear your hair natural, don't wear your hair natural. I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying, you know, you find whatever's going to work for you. For me, it was taking too long for me to grow a big old fat afro. Okay, so I found something that worked for me. Sisterlocks. I like locks. I like these. My plan was to get them at one point in my life anyway. Okay, so I'm just saying, but I don't. This whole idea that hair, you know, and I wouldn't give a damn if it was white people's hair we was talking about, or you know, Asian or whatever. I wouldn't give a damn. It should not be that, it shouldn't be that it have become this, something that is foreign, you know, to us, and it's ours. And when I say ours, like, this is mine. This is growing, you see it growing out of my scalp. It's mine. You know what I mean? But I guess it can be if we live in a world where, you know, it's not really, taken care of. It is, you know, or it's like, acquire anti-nappy syndrome, like she's calling it right here, and you know, we just gonna act like it's just a big old mess, and it's just ugly and bad, you know, this bad hair thing. I haven't heard that in a long time. I long ago, late teens, stopped saying that shit, you know. They got good hair, you know. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughter, and my daughter's father says to me one time, you know, only thing is she may have bad hair. We have bad hair in our family. No, you will never. And I said it right there. I don't care what her hair is like. You will never say those words to her. There's nothing about her that's bad. That's her hair in its natural state of being. Just like God made it, just like she was knitting my womb, whether I was the God or not, knitting my womb to perfection. She is just fine, 100%. Don't you ever say that shit, because if you saying her hair is bad, it's like equating her to having a problem and making her think that something is wrong with her. My daughter ain't gonna live this life, walking this earth like we did growing up, thinking my hair is bad. They got good hair and I ain't got good hair, and then they got light skin, I ain't got light skin, and you know, all of that type of shit. No, not over here. You know what I'm saying? And he, as far as I know, he's never said it to her, and I know what the fuck I said. You understand what I'm saying? No, okay, the buck stops here. Okay, but anyway, okay, but you know, and these things, you know, then things are marketed to us, you know, and it's almost like at one point I kept seeing all these videos and stuff about it, you know, and products about edge, grow your edge back. I mean, I could understand if it was just a little few, you know, a little bit here and there, but it was just like out of control. And I'm like, oh, so this is supposed to be normal? So what are people doing? Are people putting stuff in their hair and purposely snatching, you know, their shit at the edges so they could have a quote unquote edge, problem with their edges, so that, that's an in thing now, or marketed or whatever in the community amongst one another to such a state to be, that they think it's normal. That shit is not normal. And if it wasn't normal, how old am I? 50. If it wasn't normal about 30, 40 years ago, then it damn sure ain't normal now. It's not normal. Okay. But I guess it can become normal if you don't think that what you have is normal and you have to put something else in it to, practically destroy it. You get what I'm saying? Again, I'm not saying you have to do your hair. I've been wanting to, when I was in seminary, I went there with braids and I took my braids out and I had a big old fro. And, I told y'all in my other video, I would relax it sometimes. I was going back and forth, at times I'm with it. And I went on ahead and relaxed it. The woman who did it, I just didn't like the way she did my hair, and I had some friends who said, girl, I could relax your hair. We could relax your hair. I was like, you can? You don't give me the touch up. I was like, you can? Yeah, we do ours ourselves. I was like, okay. I said, how often do you relax your hair? This was the answer. Every time I see a nap, then you will not be touching my hair. Because that's stupid. Okay? And I mean, they said that to me like I was dumb. Every time I see a nap, like, what you talking about? No, that's not, no. And like I said, my aunt who did my hair, my uncle owned a beauty salon here in Cleveland. It was called Akia Salon. This was my mom who raised me, her brother. His shop was very well known. And it's like everybody knew Mr. James. Okay, Mr. James wasn't for no shit when you came up in his shop, neither. But his wife did my hair. But see, they started doing hair when there were no relaxers. Okay, so relaxers came onto the scene, and I remember my mom was telling me, my aunt, because my aunt did her hair, that she did not want to put that in people's hair because of the chemicals. She knew this is going to destroy people's hair. They were into the care of the hair, not just giving you a style. When they washed your hair, they washed it and, massaged the scalp. I have gone to some of these modern folk, update folk to get their hair washed, not recently, because I stopped that dumb shit, and they just want to wash their hair, but they don't want to touch your scalp. And you walk out of there feeling like you dirty by the head. No, I paid you money. Or these people who tell you they have a license to do hair, but they're going to tell you have to have your hair washed before you come. All you're going to do is style it, but they won't charge you $75, $85, $100 for bullshit. I certainly hope that people stop paying for things like that. Okay, because their job, they went to cosmetology school, and I went to nail school, which was a part of a cosmetology school, and the man who taught us nails was a cosmetologist. And so I'm not just talking outside of my neck. Part of their what they're there for, part of it, if cosmetology is, when they're going to do your hair, is to wash the hair and the scalp. Okay, so don't let nobody cheat you. All right. Don't let people be out here cheating you and you think because they're charging a lot of money that they're doing a great job. Okay. Or they know how to slap a weave in your head. Okay. And not take care of the hair, part of the cosmetology, a hairdresser, a stylist. They didn't just do your hair back in the day. They were a stylist. Okay. My aunt came from the time when, they had, they used to block off each station because that was a private thing. A woman kept her secrets. You know what I'm saying? Only her stylist knew where her secrets were. I remember there was times my aunt did my hair right in the heart of East Cleveland, okay? And there was a white woman used to come in there. Every time I was getting married, tall white woman too, my aunt would step away. She would get the color wheel, off the wall, and they would go in the bathroom. I was a kid. I didn't know what was going on. Going to the bathroom or over the back room or whatever, and they talked for a little while, then she came out. Well, my aunt was doing her hair or coloring, maybe her wigs or whatever it was, or her hair or whatever, but that was private. That was a private, you get woman, your femininity. Keep your secrets, not expose them to the whole world and let everybody know who you are, what you do. That's part of that feminine thing back in the day. I remember one time I used to drive Uber, so I picked up these girls. I picked up this Asian girl from one of the campuses here, and man, she got in the car. This girl smelled good, okay? And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, what do you have on? She didn't say nothing. I said, you smell so good. She said thank you, but she didn't say nothing real. Got on the phone, talked to her friend in Mandarin, I believe, some form of Chinese language. And when she got off the phone, I asked her again. She wouldn't say anything. She picked up her friend And I asked her again, I'm thinking, you gonna tell me what the fuck you got on? Okay. Asked her again, and she just looked at me. And she didn't act exasperated or nothing like this bitch won't leave me alone, you know. But she finally told me now. I don't know if she told me the truth. Okay. But I understood it. She's like, honey, please. You know, this is, you know, you don't share all your secrets. You know, that's part of that womanhood, that femininity back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, everything is exposed. There's nothing hidden. There's nothing mysterious. There's nothing secret, you know, a secret, you know, you understand what I'm saying? That's just how things are. But nevertheless, back to what I was saying about the hair, that's not a normal state of being for, you know, everybody's edges to just be pulled the fuck out, and everybody's here starting back here. you know, starting all the way back here because of a lifetime of abuse. Okay. And it's sometimes, you know, it may be that anti-nappy syndrome that she's said, or just, you know, sometimes some things just monkey see, monkey do. Everybody else doing it, so I'm gonna do it too. You know, as opposed to, you know, being in the realm of you. And, you know, that ain't my thing. You know, I want to do something different, you know. But again, still, even if you're going to do it, do not allow people to cheat you. You know, you're going to pay your money. Don't allow nobody to cheat you and just wash your hair and not wash your scalp, or tell you you can come sit in my chair for $100, but I'm not washing your hair. Your hair has to be washed when you get here. Okay, they can put gloves on. That's part of that's part of the service. Okay, that's what they went to school for. And anybody who does hair, don't take it no offense. Okay, if you ain't one of them people, and even if you are, you shouldn't take offense, because it's the truth. Okay, and don't let nobody cheat you, and don't you know, allow yourself just to have things marketed to you, you know, as if you're dumb and you can't think for yourself, or you're just going to say monkey see, monkey do, just because other people are doing it and it don't fit who you are, you're being, and it may not even be what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, and if you get the relaxer, you may, you know, back there was a time, because like my aunt, she did, you know, she did start relaxing hair. You know, she studied more up on it, and they were making product, you know, various kind of products, and she bought the kind that were not completely damaging. And I remember when I went away to college, you know, and I hadn't worn my hair natural yet, but I went away to college and my hair was still, you know, had relaxed, and I was looking for beauticians. And see, my aunt did my hair, so she didn't charge a whole lot, you know, for me and my mom, you know, to get our hair done, you know, so, but they was charging out the ass, okay, you know, for touch-ups and stuff. And man, my hair just did not feel right. It just was like, I would call my aunt, I was like, something, I don't like the way this feel, you know. And she was just telling me, she was asking me what they were using, and she said, see, I don't use a relaxer on your hair that straightens your hair like almost bone straight. She said, it still has a little wave to it. She said, that stuff, it is too caustic and it's too damaging to the hair, you know. So, you know, I couldn't tell. She said, but she knew because she was the beautician, you know, but it still had that, it was still straight. It wasn't a, what is that, the thing that they call, like oh shit, I can't remember. It was straight, but it wasn't like bone straight. You know, it took every bit of the coil and wave up out of it. You understand what I'm saying? It still had a little wave to it, you know. And she told me that, and she said, it sounds like that's what they're using. And that's what my hair felt like, you know, and it didn't feel right. I didn't like it. But she told me, you know, the reason she does that because I want to save your hair. You know, I don't want to destroy your hair. Some of that stuff is too damaging, and you don't need to go, like them girls said, every time I see a nap and get a relaxer, every fucking time, you know, you have, I think we would do it like, I think she would do it like every 8 weeks or something like that, you know. I can't remember, or maybe even, maybe, I want to say 12 weeks. That might be a stretch, but mind you, I was so young. I was like a teenager. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember it, you know, but I think it was more like 12. I can't remember, but my battery is I only got 5% left, y'all. So I'm going to stop this here, you know, but anyway, I don't like the color. All right. Tell me what y'all think if you want to in the comments. If you like, for those who remember, if you like the red better or this. All right. Peace.